How's it going? I'm
Good.
is it Allen Cordell?
Yep.
Okay. I'm here with Allen Cordell and Skinner, director and star of Art Show with Captain Skinner. Um I guess the first question I have is what the is this? Like it was incredibly entertaining, but I was like Emma hit me up about this and it was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And I watched it and I'm like, yeah, it is. I mean, trying to describe this to someone, you have to like throw like 13 different things at it, and I
I
don't think
mean,
it encompasses what it is.
my best description of it is it's Bob Ross on LSD in space.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
suppose that works. Where'd the
I
idea,
think
like, where'd the origin of this come from?
Go ahead, Alan.
Well, I used to work at a place called Super Deluxe, and Skinner's a really, he's an artist and he's just very, he's got the personality to be a star. So we did a show at Super Deluxe called Drawing with Skinner. And once that ended, we had been talking for a few years about finding another way to do it like an art-based drawing show that's also fun and inspired by like, you know, comedy and Pee-wee's Playhouse and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I think like I think the way that I've been able to kind of, I guess, metabolize what we did and what we're doing is that there are a lot of things that have, I think, inspired us since we were little that kind of, I guess, in a way showed us that reality or creativity could be pushed. It could be expanded. It could grow. It could be, Pee-wee's Playhouse, Bob Ross, Commander Mark, the illustrator on PBS. And I think that as you become an adult, you see the limitations of reality more, I find. And that, the more I'm focusing on myself as like kind of a weird art person, the more I'm kind of seeing the inhibited aspects of what it means to be a person, especially in society in this one, where it's crushing sometimes. And so we the way that we've presented this show, I think, is sort of feels successful if you're like, I am having a hard time correlating like what's even going on, because I don't want to really do anything that's not kind of constantly pushing the boundaries of like the what the fuck is this? Like what's going on? Because I think it's very difficult to um have I don't know, sort of like have the pit bull attitude of like, no, we're gonna be weird, we're gonna stay weird, we're gonna do this, we're gonna make whatever the consequences are, we're doing this. And I think that Alan really brings a lot of his sensibilities to this that really he's like composing some chaos. I mean, and I didn't really give him that many coherent ingredients, honestly. So
well,
he's doing his best.
I mean, we could have just shot like a typical art instruction show, but I was like, we have the opportunity to like get really weird here. And I like the editing to have a personality, instead of just doing this multi-camera like boring style PBS show. I just think yeah, like why not just like do everything to like the maximum?
It's maximalist for sure.
This doesn't. What's the nuts and bolts of this? Because it doesn't feel written. It feels like you're just kind of painting and riffing and just kind of, and we'll throw fart noises and weird sound effects in later. Is that kind of how it goes?
Yeah, yeah, by accident, I think we kind of had decided that I was just gonna kind of like talk because you know, when I'm in the when I'm in a situation, I mean, when I'm painting and drawing by myself in real life, my brain is going a million miles an hour, right? And so this is basically me being allowed to kind of paint and then talk the whole time. It's all improv, except for every once in a while, Alan will kind of steer me in a direction or ask me a question based on something to kind of keep the flow going. So he's definitely doing that, like helping. It's not like, like a lot of people are like, what is this, stand up? What the hell is it? And I'm like, well, I mean, the editing makes it seem like it's more stand up, I think, but I'm basically just kind of, exercising a cathartic kind of talking for a couple of hours while I'm painting. And then
Yeah,
Alan,
and it's taking that 2 hours of Skinner talking and condensing it down to 15 minutes, which makes it seem rapid fire, but it's just because I've cut all the air out. And
well, because there's like a lot of times where I'm like, I don't really have anything to say right now. I'm just like painting and stuff. Also, you have to get the painting done. And so I'm kind of worried. I'm like, damn, am I giving Alan enough funny stuff? Am I saying anything? Is anything I'm doing good? And then while I'm thinking that, I'm also like, dude, you have to get this painting done. Oh my God. It's like, and so it's like 2 hours, 3 hours of painting. And I'm like, dude, did it work? I don't know. So there's a lot of risk, I think, that's involved in doing something that's not as scripted or with the time constraints. So
Although your personality in this kind of comes off that, like, if you're thinking that, you just say it out loud and then it'll somehow be funny.
yeah.
yeah,
This painting
Yeah.
sucks. I'm not even funny today. What the hell's going on? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, keep going. What are you
Yeah.
using all that?
I mean,
well,
who can't relate to that?
I
I
think that a lot of
oh
the
sorry, go
humor is
ahead.
this. It's Skinner's self-deprecating personality is like, I would say like 75% of the humor.
How do you guys go about the paintings? 'Cause I know you don't start with a blank canvas. It's already colored and like penciled in, and then you're kind of doing the for lack of a better word, the inking for to
Mhm.
compare to like a comic book. But do you have the paintings already prepared before you go in, or do you have an idea, or do you just like, here's what I'm working on now. This is what we're doing today.
Well, for this, this season, this first batch of episodes, we came up with a theme for every episode, right? Science or magic or friendship or love or whatever. And so then I thought, like, what would be a good painting for that theme? And so I kind of go through and I illustrate it and then I put it on the canvas. I get the canvas ready because it would take every episode would be like a lot longer if I if it was just me penciling. I mean, it would be hours. Like these dudes would be having to hang out with me for like 5 hours. They don't, that's that's a long time for one episode. I don't know how Bob Ross, I think Bob Ross did his paintings seemed like it was like not that long to do each one. I mean, he kind of blows me out of the water a bit.
Well, also Bob Ross has like he takes like broad strokes and then kind of makes something out of it. Yours is like a lot with the lines. Like
Mhm.
basically, you're doing lines throughout a full canvas. So I mean, just physically,
Yeah.
that's going to take longer.
Yeah, it does.
Well, also on our previous show, you were doing everything from scratch. You
Mm,
were penciling, airbrushing, and then inking. And I think just like simplifying it allowed us to focus on the
yeah,
comedy
for
aspect of
sure.
it. Yeah.
And
That's
then what
true.
about the because beyond all the weirdness or part of the weirdness is a lot of the animation. What kind of goes into all that?
Well, a lot of it is just like riffing on what Skinner is talking about. Like if he starts talking about spider meat, it's like, what kind of visual gag can we put in here to sort of represent what he's talking about?
Oh,
As
so
There's a
you
opposed
lot
to,
of room for improv, like in the editing. Like so much of this show is like very much like the experience of you have like a funny idea and you're like, damn, I wish we could use that. But like in this show, it's like, let's just do that. Let's make it happen. Like sometimes, like I just filmed something the other day in my studio to send to Alan because we thought it would be funny and interesting. It's definitely a composite collage of
Mhm.
ideas and thoughts. It's very, even though we're not like stoners per se. It's very stoner style creative.
I will say that the Space Cowboy was something we planned for and went
Yeah.
into it, yeah, with him in mind.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So so I saw 2 episodes of this. I saw the space one, and then I saw the one with all the nubs and the one suction cup. How many episodes are there in total, and what's sort of the release plan of this?
There's going to be 10 episodes total. I think once the second episode comes out, they're going to release them weekly, is my understanding. But they may have a different plan.
We got 10. There's a secret pilot that will release too, I think, at some point, that which was the kind of the baby, the first version of the show, which is pretty funny.
which we just like filmed one day just because we wanted to like get something on video. And then I spent like maybe a year noodling around with the edit. And then
Yeah, I was like always yelling at him, like, why is it finish it? Like, why? Where's the thing? Like, come on, bro. And then he's like, no, I was like, oh, this, and like, and so, it's like one of those things too, where honestly, Etch is sort of this angelic situation where, anytime I have resistance to finishing something, it's because it's like, well, why? Who cares? Nobody's going to see this. It doesn't matter or whatever. Well, when we finished the pilot and we showed it to them, they were like, let's make this show. And we're like, what? Really? Okay. All right, let's do it. And so, it's like, don't give up on your projects, kids. It's fun. It can be cool.
and
So
I will say that the editing and the weird wackiness has been dialed down probably like 25% since we made that pilot.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Cool.
I can hear you now.
Okay, good.
But I just want to get a movie recommendation from each of you. Either something that's personal to you or something that's like, this is really good. No one talks about it.
The Dark Backward is good.
That's a great movie. From Beyond, great movie.
Yeah, that makes sense. That tracks. There's a new movie I was telling you. So these are movies I'm forcing Philip from Etch to watch. Unwelcome. It's a newer film. It's like a horror film, and The Dark Backwards, really great.
And Time Crimes. It's a great time travel movie.
Anything Steven Kostanski's doing is pretty fun.